testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2, test, test. Mic check. Mic check. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2.
Sun is shining, weather is sweet, yeah. Make you wanna move your dancing feet now. To the rescue, here I am. Want you to know you're, can you understand? When the morning gather the rainbow, want you to know I'm a rainbow too now. To the rescue, here I am. Want you to know you're, can you understand? Sun is shining, weather is sweet now. Make you wanna move your dancing feet, yeah. But to the rescue, here I am. Want you to notice if you can. Here I stand. No, 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 no. Can you understand me now, baby? Do you believe me?
Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth. I'm gonna put on an iron shirt and chase Satan out of earth. I'm gonna put on an iron shirt and chase the devil out of earth. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. Satan is a evilous man, but him can't choke sit on I man. So when I check him, my lass in hand.
I'm gonna put on the iron shirt, chase the devil out of earth. All right. It's about that time. You know it time. Time to get back in the swing of things. But aside from the official predictions, there could be a few surprises. The Toronto Nomads, my team, had a strong, almost dominant showing through the spring training, backed by a stronger offense than was their usual modus operandi. Their 17-13 finish topped the Lake League East. Veteran outfielder Joseph Walker batted .420 in spring, and a slew of pitchers racked up the wins, 2-3 wins at a time. Keely Sewell looked especially promising with a 4-0, 3.42 spring session through 6 starts. 4 wins for Sewell, good for him. The Miami Storm just taken over at the end of spring by new GM manager Dustin Rich. Welcome to the league, Dustin. Saw some big names from John Hart and Tyrone Osoris, while stalwart pitchers like Harry Ferguson, Alex Oriana escaped the spring session with sub-2 ERAs and 2 wins apiece. So the Storm, they did suffer the loss of relief arm Jonathan Garcia, who tore an elbow ligament, but they look like they're in top shape. Milwaukee and Calgary could also be dark horses. Nobody cares, they're not human run, but you never know. Whatever the story that summer weaves this season, it is sure to be exciting and dramatic as yet another baseball season gets underway and the boys of summer take to the field. And on that note, that is our blog entry for today. We're going to take a look at what games we're going to play today. I believe the games I had decided to schedule. See if we can fit 2 in, but I'm gonna call one game for sure, and that's going to be the Arizona Cowboys and the Nevada Speeders. Now, Arizona, Troy Olson's team had to tweak some of his lineup, but he's got a pretty good lineup. Nevada Speeders, Jim Koch, the pitcher there, should be fairly dominant this year. Scott Dumler's watching, I'm hoping. His Speeders and Troy's Cowboys. Should be a good Metro League matchup. The only other game where there's two teams playing against each other that are human operated, that would be Chicago and Minneapolis. And we saw a lot of Chicago and Minneapolis, I think, in the preseason. I think at least one of their games. So yeah, we'll do the Arizona versus Nevada, and if everyone's into it, if I'm getting good feedback, maybe I'll call the second game of the Chicago-Minneapolis series. All right, so I'm just going to double check that all the exports are pulled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just getting the social media shares going so we can post what's going on. All right. Hey, what happened to the music? All right. And I will have to kill the music to play the game. Because that copyright will blank out the audio. Dang it. All right, we're good to go. Oh yeah, one more thing I gotta do, and that's do the backup. Otherwise, good lord, what will happen? Amateur hour here. I'll hold my phone up. As soon as this is done, I don't know why I've got the almanac in there still. As soon as it's done, thanks, Axel. And we're going to kill the music. All right, welcome to the jungle and welcome to 2022 baseball. As I mentioned, the featured play-by-play game tonight will be the Nevada Speeders hosting the Arizona Cowboys, and we're all set to go. It is opening day. Baseball's going to happen. Not much else I can say. All right, our starting lineups. Arizona's are a little bit tricky, and here's why. Troy wasn't able to export, and so I had to tweak his lineup. He didn't have a first baseman, so this guy White doesn't actually play first base. He plays left and right field. He does have a rating for first base. It's kind of low. Alexis Rosa will lead it off. Left fielder Joe Coopers, shortstop. Batting second, I believe that's Jorge Velasquez, right field. He does pretty good at against Coke, doesn't he? 3 home runs, 11 for 45. Looks like we got Jeremy White, I believe. Yeah, Jeremy White, first base. Manas van Holsen, second base. Eisen Nishida, third base, batting sixth. Leon Chiron, center fielder, batting seventh. DHing is Howard Jackson, the catcher. He is day-to-day with a hip flexor strain with an uncertain return date, but he should be good to go. and instead catching will be Juan Ponora. On the mound for the Cowboys is Robbie McWeeny. Last year, 205 strikeouts, 215 the year before that. At least a dozen wins in the last 3 seasons. One of the more consistent and solid pitchers on the Arizona staff. So that should be good. But as you can see, if you look in the middle aisle here, the middle column, most of this lineup favors Nevada, and here's why. Danny Sanchez, shortstop, 5-star rated by the OSA, as you can, OSA readings. 10 for 28 against McWeeny, 357. He just eats McWeeny up for breakfast. Chitoji Yamada, 5 home runs off of McWeeny and 53 at-bats. 14 of his hits were home runs. He just levels McWeeny. Georges Henry batting third, the center fielder. Tak-Young Yang has not hit against McWeeny because he was on Arizona until this season. He'll bat cleanup. Jim Leahy, the trailer park supervisor, will bat 5th and play DH. His first base days, I guess, are over. Yang Yin, right field. He does fairly well against McWeeny as well. Juan 2-3, formerly of the Ohio Oxen, did play for Nevada last year. He was 5 for 14 against McWeeny. So this is a lineup that hits. A lot of them hit 300 or more. Three of them hit 300 or more, and then you've got some decent. You've got Yamada there. Jim Griffiths, the catcher, batting 8th, and Nate Kavanaugh, the second baseman, batting last. So there's another 300 hitter against McWeeny. So this could easily be favoring Nevada. They've got a lot of offensive potential, and Arizona's lineup just it's a little shaky right now. Jim Koch will take the mound for the Speeders. Ooh, which starter? McWeeny or Koch? Or one of the position players? Kess John in the chat room. I'll come back to you in a minute there. The Punk 75, welcome, by the way. I'll give him a second to respond. Oh, and today's game is at the Speeder Dome. I did want to mention that. Keep that backroom volume up. So we can hear stuff. It was a little bit light the last time we played this McWeeny. Robbie McWeeny, the Arizona starter out of Bright, Indiana. 28-year-old, and he has been with Arizona for a couple seasons. Actually, his full stats there. He was well, there you have it. 6 seasons with Arizona, 53 and 49 record, and 857 strikeouts. So the last couple seasons done really well with the strikeouts. But Robbie McWeeny, and his ERA looks high, 5.0, but the average ERA for the Metro League. Both of the leagues were pretty high last year, but the Metro League average ERA was astronomically high. I think it was 5.60 or something. So actually, I can check real quick on the old stats here. Look up the old stats while you guys absorb the lineup screen a bit longer. I did update all of the league history. So if you go to the main website, bullleague.org. You'll see a menu option for stats. Just click on stats. That brings you to the HTML reports. And then I'm just checking the history here. Last season's average ERA in the Metro League was 5.70. So McWeeny's 5.0 ERA was actually pretty good compared to the league average. It's definitely a hitters. The league favors the hitters more so than the Lake League, where the pitching is a little bit more on point. But I say a little bit more because their league average ERA last year was 5.11. And the batting averages were pretty high too. The average batting average in the Metro League is 282, or at least it was last season. And that's 12 points above where it was in 2020. So these are High flying, both leagues are high flying leagues. The Lake League, the average BA was 278. All right, let's get this game underway. It's at the Speeder Dome, indoors, no wind, moderate temperature. 46,332 fans are in attendance for opening day. And let's see how we go. We know this one doesn't have a custom 3D stadium, but we're hoping to add some more soon. And let's get some baseball going. 7:05 local, 10:05 Eastern. Oh, and the 2-2 pitch is rocked into right for a base hit to lead it off here in the top of the first for Alexis Rosa, the very speedy Alexis Rosa. And a man on base to lead it off here, Joe Coopers. The next batter, there goes Rosa. The throw is not in time, and he picks up his first stolen base of the season. Anyway, we'll be checking the out-of-town scoreboard after the inning because this game had a late start compared to the other one. So we should have some results from the other teams. They won't post to the Slack channels until we're completed with this game, though. 2-2 count to Cuppers. Alexis Rosa on second. He's frozen by the ground ball is short. The throw to first is in time as Sanchez corrals it and makes the toss. If the background volume's too loud, let me know. I think I can lower it. Jorge Velasquez, the next batter. One away and a runner on second. There's the delivery, and Rosa goes for third. He's safe on the tag. And 2 stolen bases now to start off his year. And I expect we're going to see a lot more out of Rosa. Jim Koch focusing now very much on Velasquez. Full count. Ball gets away from the catcher. Looked like it was a strikeout, but he had to drop third strike. He had to make the throw, and he did. Didn't get too far from him. So out at first on a strikeout, and I believe 2-3 picks up a putout on that as well as Griffiths getting an assist. If you're scoring at home, Jeremy White with 2 outs and a runner on third. Full count.
Strike 3.
And he is caught looking at a 80-mile-an-hour changeup, and that will do it for Arizona in first as they strand a runner at third. 2 stolen bases for Rosa, and that's all they get. Danny Sanchez to lead it off here for the Nevada Speeders. Last year, 13 home runs, 3.38 average. He's another guy with a lot of speed and very good contact ability. Not a whole lot of power. It's an ideal leadoff hitter. In fact, I think he was featured in an article on ideal leadoff hitters. 3-1 pitch. Takes a walk. And he is safely ensconced at first for Chitoji Yamada, who's got big bopper level power here. And he swings to the right field gap. It's against the wall. This should send the runner around all the way from first. He's going home, and the first run of the season is scored for the Nevada Speeders as they quickly bump the score up 1-0. Chitoji Yamada with an RBI double to the right field gap, scoring Sanchez from first. George Henry, the young fella, drafted only a couple seasons ago. He's got a lot of power too. Swing and a high fly ball, but this one's got plenty of room for the fielders to grab it. Rosa makes the grab out of left field. The platinum glove holding Alexis Rosa. And we have out number 1 as Yamada awaits a chance to advance. Taekyung Yang, TK, swings and hits this one to the right field gap, and this one's against the wall. Scoring from second is Yamada. Slide into second for TK, and he is safe. So an RBI double for TK Yang. 2-0 for the Speeders here in the bottom of the first. Jim Leahy, Trailer Park Supervisor Extraordinaire, steps up to the plate. Swing, ground ball to third. The throw to first is in time. 2 outs on the board as we will see Yang Yin come up to the plate. 391 and 2 home runs against Robbie McWeeny. Hit hard past the first baseman into right field. The throw coming home is in time, and that will do it. Out number 3, as I have no idea why Yang was going for home from second. I don't think he's that fast of a runner, but that'll do it for the first inning. But Nevada puts 2 on the board, and Manos Van Holsen will lead it off for Arizona here. In the top of the second, he'll be followed by Nishida and Chiron. Jim Koch takes the mound. This one's swatted out of the infield into left field. It just pokes through, and Van Holsen has a base hit. Jim Koch, only a second base hit of the game and of the season. Ground ball to short. They should have plenty of room to double him up, and they do. So Sanchez doing what he does best, initiating a very clean double play as he flips that to Kavanaugh and 2-3 to double up on the Nishida and Van Holsen. Leon Chiron, the next batter, with 2 outs on the board and all the runners eliminated. He'll send this one poking into center field, and on the 0-2 pitch, a knuckle curve. And he's safe at first on that one. Howard Jackson nursing a hip flexor, I believe it was. And he stares at a strike 3 pitch, and that'll retire the side and end the second inning for Arizona. Welcome to our 4 viewers. Thanks for watching. 1, 2, 3 to lead it off for the Speeders here, former Ohio Oxen. He'll be followed by Griffiths and Kavanaugh. Robbie McWeeny, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk. No strikeouts yet after 1 complete inning. But amazing stuff, and he's definitely a highly capable pitcher. Fly ball to right. Velasquez makes the putout. Jim Griffiths, the batter. Acquired as a free agent 2020, so this past offseason. Sorry, 2 seasons ago.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch. Gets him with a splitter. And 2-way, that'll bring up Nate Kavanaugh. That is first strikeout of the season for Robbie McWeeny. Of many more. He should be on track for 200 again. 3-0 pitch. Draws a walk for Nate Kavanaugh. And Danny Sanchez, another tough out, another tough guy to pitch to with a lot of speed. Kavanaugh at first. Nevada is a threat to score even from first in this situation, and even with 2 outs. There goes the runner. The throw is no throw. Looks like Penora lost his grip on the ball. So Kavanaugh unchallenged on his way to second, picking up a steal. 1-2 pitch to Sanchez. Gets away from the catcher, and that means Kavanaugh goes to third. And once again, Nevada is looking very threatening from third base. 2-2 pitch to McWeeny. From McWeeny. Ground ball to left. Sanchez with an RBI single, scoring Kavanaugh. And it is 3-0 for the Speeders. Toji Yamada, and as I predicted, definitely a threat to score from Kavanaugh from first, and that's exactly what happened. A steal and a missed pitch there. Wild pitch. Toji Yamada, big slugger. 3-0 pitch. Draws a walk. That's the thing with OOTP. If you're playing fast pitch mode, pretty much know when you see a 3-0 count that you're going to see a walk. 2 aboard for George Henry, still 2 outs. Nevada with 3-0. The ground ball is second. The throw to first is in time. And that will end the second. 3-0 for the Speeders as they increase their lead. And I'm just going to have a quick lookity-poo at the game options to quiet down that noise. Background volume's a little bit out of control. Hopefully it's not too quiet. You guys can still hear it. Let me know if you can't. And I was going to check the out-of-town scoreboard, so let's check that out-of-town scoreboard. What? What? 22-1 for the Toronto Nomads in the bottom of the ninth. I don't think Montreal is coming back from this one. Malone looks like he's going for the complete game. An impressive 29 hits against Montreal's 3. And wow, that's a box score that I'm going to have to check out later for sure. California is leading Seattle in the top of the third. No teams are human-owned there. Boston with a 3-2 win over New York. Congrats to our new GM. I believe that's Jesse, I think, is the Boston GM. I have to check my list. Anyway, congrats on an home opening win and season opening win. Miami with brand new GM Dustin has won their home opener and season opener 10-4 against Washington. Ohio lost to Milwaukee 8-4. I'll have to see how their new stadium checked out. And St. Pete's they blanked Calgary 5-0. So that's how the first few games shaped up. But 22-1 for Toronto. Wow, that's all I can say about that. Bottom of the ninth there. A couple of 4-for-5 performances. 3 4-for-5 performances. Rich Dillon, 2 doubles, 5-for-7. Yikes. That's an impressive opening day score too. I mean, OOTP I don't think has the capability. You'd have to do a lot of data mining and go through all of the almanacs to figure this out, but I think that's got to be close to one of the biggest lopsided opening day wins ever certainly in the Bull League and probably in a lot of leagues. All right, where were we? Panora batting ninth. Who's logged in? Yes, Dylan. I can see you texting. Welcome to the chat, Dylan. You dropped your opening season opener, by the way. Sorry. Panora batting ninth. He'll lead it off here in the top of the third. High fly ball to the left. Lots of room for Yamada and Henry, but Yamada gets it. And that's out number 1. Alexis Rosa, who had a hit and a couple of steals in the first inning. Swing and a miss in the 0-2 pitch, and the 81-mile-an-hour changeup got him from Jim Koch. That is strikeout number 4 in 2 2/3 of an inning. And a called strike 3 against Kuppers. That's 5 strikeouts for Koch. He's doing really well, Koch, however you want to pronounce it. If you pronounce it the German handgun company way, it's Koch. But it's 3-0 for the Speeders. They'll get another turn at bat here in the bottom of the third, and they'll lead it off with TK Yang, the third baseman. McWeeny still on the mound for Arizona, as I expect he will be till the 6th or 7th at least. Ground ball to third, a quick throw to first. Nishida was on it quickly, and Yang is out. Jim Leahy, the next batter. Still looking for Ricky and Julian. All right, high fly ball. Whoa, deep fly ball to center, and it is against the wall. Jim Leahy with a sliding double. Deep to center. and that was off the wall as Chiron had to chase it down. Not a lot of speed out of Leahy, so he's basically got to hit the ball far to get anywhere. Yang Yin, the batter. Runner on second, one away. And going oppo there with a poor contact fly ball. That'll chase Leahy back to second. He's no threat to take third on that one. Way too shallow. 2 outs on the board for Nevada. 1, 2, 3, former Ohio Oxen. And he takes the inside pitch for ball 4. And the Ohio Oxen GM is watching today. Jim Griffiths, the batter. 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the last plate appearance. 1-2 pitch. Swing and high fly ball to right. This should be playable for the right fielder. And it is. Velasquez makes the grab. So the Nevada Speeders strand 2 runners, but they are still protecting their 3-run lead. Jorge Velasquez, the batter. Acquired by a trade with Pittsburgh. Probably was in the contraction draft. And he pops out to short. And Jeremy White is next in the order. 1 down, 3-0 count. He takes a walk. That's the first walk that Koch has given up this game and, of course, this season. Magnus von Hulsen with a chopper up the middle. It makes it into center, and looks like the runner from first is going for third. He's safe on the slide. And Jeremy White, with those wheels, is now 90 feet away from breaking this shutout situation here. Aizen Nishida is the next batter. Here's the pitch from Koch. And this one's a dribbler back to Koch, who makes the throw to second. They give up the... Do they give up the run? No, they double him up, and that eliminates the run. Almost had a fielder's choice there, but they get the double play, and no run scores. Still 3-0 for Nevada. Let's just see if that 22-1 Toronto score ended up as a final. And it did. 22-1 for the Nomads. Knuckles Malone getting the win. Yagislav with a home run, and Sam Idios, the new shortstop. I believe he's playing shortstop. Still playing in Seattle. 3-1 is the lead for Seattle over California. But yeah, 22-1. I'm still flabbergasted by a 22-1 win. All right, Nate Kavanaugh, the batter. Batting 9th in the order. He'll lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss on the 0-2 fastball, and he missed completely. McWeeny fans him. That'll bring up Sanchez. 2-2 pitch. And he works Sanchez with a strike 3 pitch. And that fastball seems to be working for McWeeny. He's hitting the low 90s, but it's doing its job. Toji Yamada, the next batter. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Had that RBI double a couple innings ago. 2-2 pitch to Yamada. Deep fly ball to right. This could be gone. It is gone. First home run of the season for the Nevada Speeders, and it is Toji Yamada. Couldn't think of a more appropriate guy to get it. And Nevada is now up 4-0. George Henry with 2 outs on the board. McWeeny shaking his head there, giving up 4 earned runs in his season debut. He is not a happy camper. Inside pitch, grounded to second. The throw to first is in time, and the 1 run is the only run that Nevada gets, but it's enough to increase that lead a little bit more, especially as the Cowboys have yet to score. Leon Chiron, the batter, batting from the left-hand side against the right-handed Jim Koch. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, made contact. It's light contact, and it's a fly out to center field. Henry makes the grab. Hojo, Howard Jackson. The catcher, DHing. One away. The 1-0 pitch, and this is a pop-up to third base, and that ends his at-bat. Yang making the grab. Juan Panora, the catcher. Backup catcher for Jackson. As I mentioned at the top of the game, Arizona hadn't submitted their lineup, so I had to do some adjusting. Troy didn't actually have a first baseman. Ground out to short there. Troy didn't have a first baseman, so I don't know what the AI put somebody in there, one of the outfielders in there. That's why the first baseman's got a rating so low. You can see on the screen there. TK Yang, the next batter, he'll lead it off. He'll be followed by Leahy and Ying. Of course, TK Yang 1 for 2 today with an RBI double of his own. I believe it's a double. McWeeny. Takes the 0-1 pitch. Fly out to center. Jim Leahy next in the order, the DH today. You see him play DH full time. His defensive skills have declined lately. As McWeeny winds up for the 2-1 pitch. And he rockets this one to right center. It's over the fence. Home run number 2 for Nevada. And Jim Leahy has increased that lead yet some more. 5-0 as Nevada is blanking the Speeders. The Cowboys here in the bottom of the 5th. Yan Ying will try to follow that up. 2-2 pitch to Yin. And soft contact just up the middle into center field. That's good for a base hit. And that's going to spell the end of Robbie McWeeny, who leaves after 5 1/3 innings, having given up 5 runs. Tony Rijo will step in and pitch against Juan 2-3 here. The lefty against the righty. And draws a walk. 2 runners on base now. Rijo only inherited 1 of them. Griffiths, the next batter in the order. 1 away, 2-1 count to Griffiths. Ground ball down the first base line. And covering first is Griffiths, the pitcher's name, Rijo, but Griffiths is safe on the throw from White to Rijo. So bases loaded for Kavanaugh. Still just 1 out. Tony Rijo not having a great outing himself, but there he goes with strike 3 pitch there to Kavanaugh. And he'll be happy about that at least. So 2 outs on the board. Danny Sanchez, though, this is the meat of the Nevada order. The top half, very deadly top half, very similar to Chicago in a lot of ways. A lot of power and speed. Sanchez not so much with the power, but definitely the speed. 3-1 pitch to Sanchez. And he draws a walk, and it is 6-0 as the Speeders walk home a run. Rijo. A little bit struggle here. Chitoji Yamada had that home run in his last at-bat. First Nevada home run of the year. Ground ball to second. The throw to first is in time, and that will retire Yamada and end the inning. But a couple more runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Nevada with a commanding 6-0 lead over Arizona. A team that just 2 seasons ago was finished first place and made their first playoff appearance. Alexis Rosa against Koch. And he's gets a base hit to right. And let's see if he uses that speed again to pick up a couple of stolen bases, or at least one more against Griffiths here. There he goes. And he is indeed safe at second, easily safe at second, as Griffiths double pumps on that throw. Cuppers will try to get Rosa around and break this big goose egg that the Cowboys have on their scoreboard. 1-2 count. That'll hold Rosa at second. The catch, he tags up and he easily makes it to third as the batter is retired on the fly ball to center. Jorge Velasquez, one out on the board. Runner on third. Ideal situation for Arizona to at least get one run in. And the ball gets away from the catcher, and that's it. Rosa will score on the wild pitch. And Arizona finally has a run on the board here in the top of the sixth after being rocked around quite significantly by the Nevada bats. Jorge Velasquez, now with no runners to drive home, will be batting just for himself. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball down the first baseline, but getting there in time is 2-3. Makes the grab and steps on first for out number 2. All right, we're back in action here. Jeremy White, the batter, 2 outs on the board. Swing and a line drive up the middle to center, but plenty of time for Henry to make the grab, and that's the end of the sixth for Arizona. They do get a run on the board, and Nevada back up to the plate with Georges Henry to lead it off here. He'll be followed by Yang and Leahy. High fly ball to the left center gap. It drops in, hits the wall for a double. No, he's going for 3. Sliding in and safe. So Georges Henry legs out a triple to the left field gap. A deep fly ball that was just out of reach of Chiron and hit the fence. It hit high in the fence, too. Luckily, it stayed in and didn't go over the fence. It would have been a ground rule double. Henry gets the extra base on that one. He's definitely got the speed for it. TK Yang, the next batter. 51 home runs last year. 1-2 pitch, no outs. And he's out on a called strike 3, 81-mile-an-hour changeup from Tony Rijo. Jim Leahy had that home run. And he goes deep to left, not deep enough. Over to grab it is Rosa, but the runner from third easily tagging up and scoring a 7th Nevada run. Ground ball just makes it past the shortstop into left field. And Yin is safely ensconced at first base. And here's 1-2-3. 0 for 1 today. Acquired in a trade with Ohio last July. The Ohio GM's on the chat. Can you remind me, Dylan, who did you trade for? Who did you get in return? I think you were looking for pitching, I believe. Anyway, 2-3, I believe, drew a walk. 2 walks, that's why he's got a 667 OBP. Yin on first, 2 outs on the board. Ground ball, Joe! Great grab by the outfielder playing first base, White. And I thought that was for sure going to be in the right field for extras. But no, and third out off of 1-2-3. And it was an amazing play. So Nevada still at 7 runs. Arizona now facing a new pitcher. Greg Pritchard is going to step in. And we'll see how he fares. He's got a sizable lead behind him. So the pressure's off. Martinez and Morales, all right. Or Primiticcio and Morales. Did I say that right? I'm not really Italian. Primiticcio. That's my guess. All right, Pritchard against Manus Van Hulsen. Van Hulsen grounds it to third. The long throw to first is good for an out. That'll bring up Aizen Nishida, the third baseman for Arizona. Arizona picked up a lot of Rule 5 draft picks. Their roster is loaded with Rule 5 guys. I think Troy's plan is to spark a rebuild using Rule 5 guys. I don't know. I think there's 3 or 4 of them on the roster. Anyway, but I'm not sure if Nishida was one of them or not. I have to check. Leon Chiron, center fielder. 3-1 pitch to Chiron. Inside for ball 4. And Pritchard with his first walk of the season. Howard Jackson nursing his strained oblique.
Strike 3, you're out.
And he looks at a called fastball strike for strike 3. That'll end the top of the 7th. Go to stretch time. I think Ohio, you did improve your pitching immensely. I think a little bit of that showed in spring. So I'm going to see for sure. Time will tell. But sometimes you have to give up. You had a lot of power. You still got some power guys. So sometimes you got to give up something to get something, right? I still think 2-3 was a good move for you. It certainly was for Nevada. They had plenty of pitching to give out, too. All right, bottom of the 7th here for the Speeders with their 6-run lead. Jim Griffiths, the catcher, will take to the batter's box and lead it off here. He'll be followed by Kavanaugh and Sanchez unless the defensive subs start coming in. And a pop out to deep second. He's into right field territory there, so I guess you could call it a fly ball. Van Hulsen making the grab. Out number 1. I think you got a couple other guys besides Corny Mays. Van Hulsen making the grab. Nate Kavanaugh, the next batter. 0 for 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tony Rijo with the heater fans him. Danny Sanchez, the next batter. And so you're saying Rijo was one of your former players too. I think he was. I think that's right. A lot of velo, a lot of stamina. His movement and control leave me some concern, to be honest with you. And Sanchez is the kind of guy that could penalize that. Full count to Sanchez. A line drive into the right field corner, and that's exactly the kind of thing that Rijo can fall victim to, especially against a great hitter like Sanchez. So a sliding double for Danny Sanchez as Tony Rijo gives up his 4th hit of the game. Shitoji Yamada steps into the plate. And so far this month, he's batting .660. Yeah, it's only been one game, .667, with a home run and 2 RBIs. Thank you for the stat there. Dribbler back to Rijo, makes the throw to first, and out number 3 is registered. And that is the end of the 7th. Top of the 8th now. Arizona's going to try and get something going. Oh, that's right. Goyle, you did leave for free agency because he got picked up by, I think, one of these 2 teams. But now he's injured, so you didn't want to hold on to him anyway. And Tyrannosaurus, I don't know. He got picked up too. I just can't remember who picked him up now. And if I look at the stats, we lose the audio. Juan Panora, the catcher, batting from the right. Hits this one hard, but it's not deep enough as it's a looping fly ball to Yin in right field. And Alexis Rosa will be the next batter. So far, the one consistent hitter, the Arizona lineup tonight. Greg Pritchard, the 1-0 pitch to Rosa. And Rosa lights him up, sends this one to the right field gap. This will be extras again. And he does indeed trot into second with a stand-up double after banking that one off the wall. So Rosa is on fire. The rest of the team could use some of what Rosa's got, as they are flagging behind 6 runs behind Nevada. Joe Cooper's the next batter. And he lines this one to the right field gap. This should score run number 2 as Rosa rounds third. Comes into home, and it is an RBI double for Cuppers. And things are starting to gel a little bit for Arizona. Had they not given up so many runs early on, they might still be in this ball game. Anything could happen, though. They're only 5 runs behind, slowly but surely. Jorge Velasquez, the next batter. 1 away, runner on second. And poor contact as he dribbles this one back to the pitcher. Cuppers moves to third on the play, but the batter is eliminated. Jeremy White batting cleanup. He's next in the order. And this is going to be a pop out to third. That'll end the inning. So Arizona strands one, but they do get a run as well. And go to the bottom of the 8th, where Georges Henry will take to the plate. Tony Rijo. Decent enough outing. Just 1 earned run so far in 2 2/3 innings. 2-1 count. Line drive down the third baseline. Lost sight of that one for a minute. Into the corner. And a sliding double, stand-up double. Georges Henry having a fairly good season too. And that'll spell the end of Tony Rijo. Looks like Barry Gerard will come in to pitch. TK Yang, the batter. There goes the runner to third, and he's out by a mile. Head first slide. It's a bit of a silly situation, really, with a 5-run lead and no outs. Stealing third like that, but anyway, Penora guns him down. TK Yang now has no runners to advance. Full count to Yang. And he makes poor contact. It's floater out to right field, and he is out on the catch. 2 down for Nevada here in the bottom of the 8th. Jim Leahy, Trailer Park supervisor. Swing and a miss on the 1-2 change-up. No, circle change. And that will do it for the Nevada 8th inning. We go to the top of the 9th. This is Arizona's last kick at the can. Van Holtzen to lead it off. He'll be followed by Nishida and Chiron. And the crowd is very excited about this 5-run lead here for Nevada for the hometown. Ground ball to second. Just what the heck happened there? Just out of reach of the second baseman. For some reason, Pritchard had to run out and grab it. Makes the toss. They managed to get Van Hulsen anyway, which I find remarkable on that play. But anyway, 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Aizen Nishida is next in the order. The 0-1 pitch to Nishida. And he hits this one deep to left. It could be. It is. It's a home run. And Nishida measures up Arizona's first home run of the season. Might be a case of too little too late. Arizona 3 runs on the board, but still 4 runs behind. Leon Chiron. And this is a fly ball to right for out number 2. Yin making the grab. And we're all down to the last out, possibly. Howard Johnson DHing for Arizona. Greg Pritchard probably close out the game. He won't be tagged with or credited with a save here. It's not a save situation. I don't believe it's a save. Oh, actually could be 3 innings. Yeah, he could still get a save out of this. I think 3 innings is what you need for a save if there's a lead. And strike him out. That's it. Strike 3, and Hojo is retired. Game 1 of the season is finished here in Nevada. It is a 7-3 final for the Speeders over the Arizona Cowboys. And we will take a quick look at the line score. Arizona 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Nevada Speeders with a 7-run win, 13 hits, no errors. Player of the game looks like Jim Koch, who had that outstanding 6-inning start, allowing just 1 earned run, 1 walk, and striking out 5 whilst allowing 5 hits. So he's credited with his first win of the season. Greg Pritchard with a save after coming in the 7th and closing out 3 fairly solid innings, only allowing two earned runs. Robbie McWeeny, despite some flashes of brilliance, was rung up for 6 earned runs, and 2 of those, some of those runs came on 2 home runs. I think it was 3 runs scored on 2 home runs, and that was not the kind of start that McWeeny wanted. He definitely needed more run support. Both starting pitchers had wild pitches. Jim Koch with a game score of 62, McWeeny with a game score of 22. The time of the game was 3 hours 23 minutes. Of course, not in Twitch land, and we had 46,332 fans in attendance. Thank you for watching Game 1. And we have 5 viewers. You know what? We'll Minneapolis. You got a spring training invitee I got to fix. Where is he? There he is, Lucas. You know what? I'm going to just add him to your 40-man. You'll have to deal with them. Oh, and this guy too. You'll have to deal with those guys later on there in Minneapolis. All right. We should be able to finish the day out. No, Chicago's got some. You guys. Why, you guys? All right, so Matthew Rendell, I'll throw him on the 40-man for Chicago. Was that the only guy? Let me just double check the rosters. So there's Freddie Carter. Place him on the 40-man. You guys got to remember to get rid of those non-roster invitees. Unless you want to keep them, and then you got to put them on the roster. Can we advance now? Yes, we are at day 2. And you know what? I think I said I would do the Chicago-Minneapolis series, and I think I will. I kind of want to see Keely Sewell pitch against Montreal, but we'll do another game with 2 human GMs, and that will be Minneapolis and Chicago. First, I'm going to save the day 1 results because we've had some iffy. Oh, I think your score was 8-4 for whoever Milwaukee, I think, was playing against. Yes, so it was an 8-4 loss for Ohio there, Dylan. So yeah, I'm going to save the first day's results just in case anything crazy happens, like a game crash. And we'll get on with this Minneapolis Chicago game. So we'll do a doubleheader tonight, broadcast doubleheader. And Jason Tarlow's Minneapolis Ravens will be the visitors. Scott Davis's hometown Chicago Pitbulls. Here at Pitbulls Ballpark, they will play Game 2 of their season. 13,399 fans in attendance, which seems kind of low, and it is. Because it's chilly out. It's 42 degrees in Chicago, according to the temperature there, the weather prediction, but also because they have the most expensive tickets in the league. So as a consequence, really tough to find fans that want to come out. All right, our starting lineups are on the screen there. I'll just go through them quick. The Ravens are putting up Brendan Seymour, Takahashi, Langston Sue, Bill Mahoney, Jose Canas. Evandro Sirigo bumped all the way down to 6th in the order. He's definitely batted higher before, but last season, some injuries, only batted in the 260s. Earlier 2 seasons, he was above 40 home runs and batting over 300. So he hasn't quite been that good last year. Xavier DeSoto, a former leadoff hitter for, I want to say, I think it was Miami. Yep, Miami back in 2020. Still a very good hitter, but yeah, he's batting 7th. Quintal, Viriato Quintal, the shortstop, and looks like John Barr with no stats, making a debut, looks like John Barr of Minneapolis. Lorenzo Gutierrez will get his first start of the season for 2022. He was a 9-8 pitcher last year, 26 games. Was he a reliever? He might have been a reliever. And Chicago Pitbulls are putting up John Guyot, John Rambo, Dennis Guppy, who's the new addition. No, he was there last year. Mike Strang and Makanakuka Mano. I completely botched that name. All 5 of those players had 30 or more home runs last year. Of course, Rambo had 77, setting a record. Guyot had 40. Freddie Carter, batting 6th, catcher. Ricky Gonzalez, batting 7th, the second baseman. Teozo Kondo, batting 8th, the shortstop. And Justin Kelly, another 30 home run, 300 hitter, batting 9th. It's an interesting strategy that Scott's got there. His number 9 hitter could be a lot of teams' cleanup guy. Chris Dow will get his debut, his season debut. He looks like probably a free agent signing, I'm guessing, out of Milwaukee. He played for Milwaukee last year. We'll see how he does this year. So here we go. Game number 2 tonight. As we do a broadcast doubleheader. Now we got time. What else you got to do? Tomorrow's a holiday. It's Good Friday. It's not like you got to go to work. Coronavirus. Most of us don't have a place to go to. Some of us are working from home. I was working from home today. Actually, it's one of the few days that they made me go into the office to do some paperwork. But for the most part, been working from home. All right, here we go. Top of the first for the Ravens. Brandon Seymour to lead it off for them. And Chris Dow on the mound for Chicago. Looks like they had the... I didn't catch it. Did they got the win? The Game 1 win? We'll catch it afterwards. Dow kicks and delivers. And 95-mile-an-hour fastball as Seymour swings and misses. For strikeout number 1 for Dow. Out number 1 on the board. Takaki Takahashi, the next batter. And a ground ball up the middle to short. The throw to first is in time. Lan King Su. Full count to Su. Dow kicks and delivers. Strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Minneapolis. And now the big guns from Chicago are stepping up to the plate. Here's John Guyot. Full count pitch to Guyot.
Strike 3, you're out.
Gutierrez fans him on a changeup. And that'll bring up the big rig, John Rambo. 3-1 pitch. Rambo draws a walk. Dennis Guppy, the next batter. 1 out. Rambo at first. And a line drive down the right field line, but it's caught, and Rambo has to retire to first. Wow, Sirigo really had to hustle for that one, and he does. Makes the grab, and that's 2 outs. Mike Strang, the next batter. Strang with a lot of power. Swing and... Well, the throw to first gets away from him. They try to pick Rambo off from the catcher tried to pick him off. And Rambo advances to second on the missed throw by John Barr to Jose Canas. So 2 away, and now Rambo's at second. Strang, 3 balls, and he watches this fastball go inside and gets a free pass. 2 runners aboard for Mano, the first baseman. Had 2 hits yesterday. He's batting 2 for 5 on the season. Hard hit line drive down the first baseline, and it is into the corner. Rambo comes around third to score. Here comes another runner, and safe. Chicago picks up 2 runs as Strang follows Rambo as they high-five each other there just past home plate. An RBI, 2 RBI double for Makanakua Mano. A 2-out, 2 RBI double. Freddie Carter, the batter. And this one gets away from the pitcher, Barr. And Mano will take third. Carter's picture. He's still wearing his AAA uniform there. San Antonio Saints and the inside pitch, ball 4. Takes the walk. And Gutierrez struggling to get this third out here in the bottom of the first. He's already allowed 2 earned runs, 3 walks. Dreadful 3 walks. He faces Ricky Gonzalez. Ground ball to third. The throw to second is in time. They get the force. And that'll end it. Chicago gets 2 runs on the board. And we'll go to the top of the second and just take a quick glance at the out-of-town scoreboard. Boston leading New York 5-0. Toronto leading Montreal 2-0. They're in the 4th and 5th innings, respectively. St. Pete's with a 6-0 lead over Calgary in the bottom of the 4th. All tied up in Miami against Washington. Milwaukee leading Ohio 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. And no scores yet in Seattle and Nevada as those 2 teams are facing later starts. All right, Bill Mahoney to lead it off for the Ravens here. Chris Dow on the mound. Had a pretty good first inning. 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Kicks and delivers the full count pitch, and this one is rocked to right field, but should be plenty of room, and there is for Rambo to grab it. But that was a high fly ball. There's a strong wind in from center, which is not going to help any deep fly balls tonight. And Mahoney's retired. Jose Canas, first baseman, 2 for 2 today, 2 RBIs. Sorry, 2 for 2 in the season with 2 RBIs. He's done nothing so far yet because it's his first at bat. Swing and a miss on a strike 3. It's like a 87 mile an hour fastball. 2 outs on the board for Dow. Vandro Sorigo, the next batter. And this one's rocketed up the middle to center, and it is onto the grassy knoll past the center field fence. Sorigo with a solo shot will cut the Chicago lead to 1 run. Xavier DeSoto, the next batter. Chris Dow, the 2-1 pitch, kicks and delivers. Ground ball is short, should be playable, and it is. And they get DeSoto to retire the side, but Ravens get a run in on that Evandro Sorigo home run. Super powerful guy. He's a former 30 season guy with 300 average. Could be there again. Toyozo Kondo will lead it off for Chicago. He'll be followed by Justin Kelly and John Guyot as we flip back to the top of the Pitbulls order. Hard hit to right, and it's deep enough, and it's into the bullpen. Toyozo Kondo with a solo shot to lead it off here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 is the score now for Chicago. Justin Kelly next in the order. And a dribbler to first, right to the first baseman. Gutierrez comes over to cover and makes the grab, putting him out. 1 away for John Guyot. 1-1 pitch to Guyot. Inside fastball, ground ball to third. It's a hot shot, but making the grab is DeSoto, and a long throw to Canas to get the put out. John Rambo, the next batter. 2 outs on the board. Here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 pitch. Rambo off the end of the bat makes it into right field, and he will be safe at first for a base hit. Dennis Guppy will follow him. In 18 at-bats against Gutierrez, he's only 167 with 1 home run. Looks like his only hit was a home run. And they get him! They get Rambo on the pickoff throw. And that is out number 3. Rambo with a little bit more of a leadoff than he imagined, thought the Ravens were going to get him on. But anyway, they did get him, and he's out. So we go to the top of the 3rd now. Viriato Quintal, the shortstop for the Ravens. Chris Dow, the batter. Sorry, the pitcher. Gets him on the strike 3 pitch, and Quintal sits down. John Barr, the batter. Hard hit ground ball to short. It's deep short, but the shortstop makes the throw. Kondo is an award-winning shortstop. Brandon Seymour, the batter. And Seymour homers the left. It's a no-doubter. Brandon Seymour with a 381-foot home run will draw the Ravens to within 1 again of the Chicago Pitbulls. And the stadium is suddenly very quiet. Takaki Takahashi steps in against Dow. 2-0 pitch to Takahashi. High fly ball to right. It's going to drop in for a base hit. It was very short. I guess Takahashi didn't get enough on it, and Rambo could not get there in time. Did grab it on the bounce, but Takahashi is safe at first. Siu, the second baseman, is the next batter in the order with 2 outs. Takahashi with some speed, but they're going to need a combination of speed and luck here to get him around. And that's the luck they're looking for. A high fly ball, line drive rather, to the left field gap. That's going to bring, he holds up at third. So Takahashi holds up at third. He gets the stop sign. But it's a double anyway, and Siu is at second. Takahashi at third for Bill Mahoney. 2 outs on the board, 2 runners in scoring position. And the Ravens have an opportunity here to take a lead on a well-hit single or even a double. Bill Mahoney, the 0-1 pitch, makes contact, but it's a fly ball to right, and this should end it. And it does. So 2 runners are stranded for Minneapolis as they look to threaten to erase Chicago's lead and possibly even take a lead of their own, but it doesn't happen. Chicago maintains a 1-run lead. And that'll bring Dennis Guppy, the former Detroit Motorheads center fielder. He'll come up to play. And he's already had a home run this season. So I guess in Game 1 yesterday, well, today, but yesterday in the game, he went 2 for 5 with a home run and an RBI, obviously, on the home run. 1-2 count to Guppy. Pops this one up, and it looks like second baseman has it. 1 out for Mike Strang.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the changeup. Mono, the next batter in the Chicago order. Lorenzo Gutierrez still on the bump for Minneapolis. Ground ball, hard hit ground ball down the third baseline. It makes it into left field. It's in the corner. This is a sliding double for Mono. With 2 outs, Chicago is still very capable of getting runs on the board here. But they are getting to the weakest part of their order. Although, having said that, Teozo Kondo did he have a home run or an RBI? Home run. And ground ball from the catcher, I believe, Carter. That'll end the inning. So Chicago strands one. Score remains 3-2. Minneapolis gets another crack at it. Top of the fourth, we'll have another quick glance at the scores. 6-3 is the lead in Boston over New York. 9-0 is the lead for St. Petersburg, the Admirals, over the Calgary Inferno. Toronto leading Montreal 4-1. They are in Montreal. And the Washington Freedom have a 4-1 lead over Miami. They were tied 1-1 earlier. Alec Tricity, another former Ohio player, with a 3-run shot for New York to put them on the board. I guess it was a 6-0 game before that happened. Milwaukee and Ohio are all tied up at 2. And, of course, the West Coast games haven't started yet. Jose Canas standing in, second at bat against Chris Dow. Sixth career at bat against Dow. And he takes a check swing pitch that is ruled a ball. So on the 3-1 pitch, he gets a fourth ball and is walked. Evangelos Sirigo, the home run for the Ravens earlier. Lined up, the delivery from Dow, deep fly ball to center. Back to the track. Off the wall. No, not off the wall. Guppy makes the grab. Looks like it bounced off the wall there. But Guppy made the grab, and Sirigo's retired. That almost carried. If it wasn't for the wind in from the outfield, that might have carried over the fence. Canas still at first with one away. Xavier DeSoto, the batter. Dow delivers. DeSoto with a high fly ball to left. That'll have the runner retiring. And the throw to first to try to get him. But they do not. 2 away for Viriato Quintal. 1-0 pitch to Quintal. Line drive to right. It is almost directly into the glove of Rambo, who barely had to move for that one. And that ends the inning. So still 3-2 for Chicago. The Pitbulls coming up to bat. Ricky Gonzalez, the batter. Line drive up the middle. Should be playable. And it is. Seymour makes the grab. And again, the wind keeping that one in, I suspect. 1 away as we now we'll get another look at Teozo Kondo. Had a solo shot in the second. 2-0 count. Ground ball looks like to short. Long throw is in time, and he's out. Great throw from Viriato Quintal. Someone sign that man to a 10-year deal. Justin Kelly, the next batter. 2 away, the 1-2 count. Line drive to right, and this one is gone. A no-doubter. Well past the bullpen. Chicago increases their lead to 4-2. And now we are at the big bats once again as John Guyot is up to the plate. Gutierrez being rocked tonight. 4 earned runs he's given up, 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he's getting more tired, and he's going through the order 3rd time now. So he's getting a 3rd look at Guyot. Guyot's getting a 3rd look at him. Ground ball up the middle. This is a safe base hit to center. This is not the 4th inning that Minneapolis wants to see right now, as they were within 1 of tying Chicago. Rambo, the batter. 2-2 pitch to Rambo. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end it. So Chicago strands 1, but they do get a run in on 2 hits. That run was, of course, the Justin Kelly solo shot. John Barr will lead it off here in the top of the fifth for the Ravens. Chris Dow still on the bump for Chicago. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts is his lines so far. The 1-0 pitch from Dow to Barr. Hard hit line drive into left, making it past the outstretched glove of John Guillot and Teozo Kondo. Gloves safely at first is Barr for a leadoff single. Brandon Seymour, now that we're back to the top of the Ravens order, they might be able to get something going here. And this is a blooper to right. It drops in drops in for a base hit. And that sends Barr to third, and he's safe on the slide. But he looks like he might be injured. He is injured, and he's coming out of the ball game. So John Barr sacrificing his body to get the extra base there on that single. And it cost him dearly. We'll find out how dearly after the game. Chris Zahn will come in and pinch run. He's got a lot of speed. Takaki Takahashi, the batter, with no out and runners in the corners. 2 very quick runners in the corners. And Chris Dow all of a sudden is in trouble here in the top of the fifth. The 1-0 pitch. Takahashi swings, sends it up to center field. The runner will tag up from third. Safe is Chris Zahn, easily beating the throw. And I guess there's a bright side to the injury to the catcher there, because Chris Zahn a lot faster than the guy that was injured. Lanking Sioux, the batter. Infield's shifted weak to the right for the Sioux here. Brandon Seymour at first, 1 away. The 1-1 pitch, and it's sent into right field. The infield had the right idea, but they were in the wrong spots. And the throw to third as Seymour tries for it. He's out. Remarkable throw by Rambo is right. Rambo guns him down from right field. And that is out number 2 as the runner that would have been in scoring position is eliminated. Bill Mahoney, the next batter. Ravens playing dangerous with some of their aggressive base running here. Mahoney acquired by a trade from Norfolk in 2020. Norfolk, of course, one of the teams that was contracted out just a year later that year. It might have been, actually, that was contraction year, wasn't it? Bill Mahoney with a runner on and 2 out, 3-1 count. He stares at a ball 4. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And Sioux goes to second. Jose Canas, the batter. 1-0 count. This one goes off the end of the bat, back to the pitcher. They make the throw to first to end the inning. But Minneapolis does get a run on 3 hits and a walk. But they strand 2. It was a situation that I don't think a lot of teams could have got out of without giving up at least 1 run. And so Chicago, given their shaky pitching historically, should be happy they got out of that inning, just giving up 1 run. Dennis Guppy to lead it off here for the Pitbulls against Gutierrez, who's still struggling to hold on there. He's a 9.0 ERA so far after giving up a run an inning. But here in the 5th, we'll see if he can turn that around and solidify it. The odds are against it, though. It's the 3rd time through the batting order now for Chicago. Ground ball up the middle. Seymour can't get there in time. And Guppy with a leadoff single here. Not the guy you want to have a leadoff single. Not only is he a strong hitter, but he's a great runner. Mike Strang next in the order. The 1-0 pitch to Strang. And this one is not coming back. 2-run shot to right field. Complete towering shot, 402 feet. And the Pitbulls are now doubled up on Minneapolis 6-3. And that'll do it for the pitcher. Marcel Cortesini is going to come in to pitch. And we will see Gutierrez in about 4 or 5 games. But he's done for today. The ball hands over to the right-hander, Cortesini. And Mano is the batter. No outs on the board. Bottom of the 5th. Full count. Ground ball to short. The long throw is in time, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Freddie Carter, the left-handed batting catcher. Right-handed throwing, but left-handed batting. Cortesini
Strike 3.
gets him on a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Ricky Gonzalez, the second baseman for Chicago. The 0-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Cortesini with his second strikeout comes in to very quickly move things out of the 5th inning as Chicago had that 2-run shot to increase their lead. So it seems like the pitcher they brought in, Cortesini, is the right guy to do what Minneapolis needs to get done. Sirigo will try to get something going for the Ravens. Chris Dow still on the mound for Chicago. The 0-2 pitch to Sirigo. And this one is blooper to left that drops in for a base hit. Kelly plays it on the hop. Xavier DeSoto. Sirigo at first. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. They turn, they get Sirigo at second. They get one, but DeSoto very quick and hard to beat on the throw when you're trying to turn a double play. So Gonzalez to Condo for 1, but they don't convert the double. Quintal, the next batter, with 1 away. And a high fly ball to right. Caught by Rambo. Alex Saldana's the next batter. He'll come in to catch, I presume. And a towering line drive up the middle, a fly ball rather, up the middle. It is caught by Guppy near the warning track, and that will do it for the 6 for Minneapolis. Go to the bottom of the 6 now for Chicago. Cortesini had a decent first inning, 5th inning, but first for him. Buddy gives up a base hit to left here against Tealzo Condo. Justin Kelly, 2-2 pitch. Leadoff single by Condo, and he gets this one out of the infield. Pops his line drive into left. Sort of just kind of squeaks through past DeSoto. And back-to-back base hits to start the 6th off for Chicago. And they are now at the dangerous part of the lineup again. Not that Kelly and Condo haven't done their own damage already, but Guillo, Rambo, Guppy, Strang, Mano is certainly a string of 5 batters that no pitcher really wants to face. And it makes it hard because you can't walk any of these guys because who do you pitch to next? But that Minneapolis defense turns a double play. Quintal, Sue to Canas, and 2 outs on the board. Tealzo Condo advancing to third, but with 2 red balls on the scoreboard for Rambo, who's done okay today, 1 for 2, but he is susceptible to the strikeout. Doesn't have the best eye at the plate. 3-2 pitch, and this one makes it into center field. Rambo with an RBI single. That'll bring Chicago up to 7 as the runner from third is cashed in. Dennis Guppy, the next batter. 3-0 pitch, draws a walk, and this is what I mean, a tough part of the batting order to pitch to. Yeah, they turned Minneapolis turned a double play. Got 2 outs on the board, but then they had to face Rambo, who got Condo home from third, and now Guppy with the walk. It's still a very threatening situation. Mike Strang, the next batter, and he's the kind of guy who can punish a bad pitch. And he definitely does it here. He takes him deep to left in the gap. 2 runs are going to score on that double off the fence. Rambo, then Guppy. And now Chicago is up 9-3 very quickly, blowing it open here in the 6th. Mike Strang with a 2 RBI double. Nakanaku Mano sends this one to almost the same spot. It drops in for a base hit. That'll send the runner home from second. Mano with an RBI double of his own. And it is now 10-3 for Chicago as they are turning up the heat. And the Ravens were within 1 of tying, and now they are 7 runs behind all of a sudden. Freddie Carter, the next batter, 0 for 2 today. And he stares at a 95-mile-an-hour sinker to end it, but not before Chicago puts 4 more runs on the board. 2 runs a couple innings ago, and it's just it's a game of attrition here as the Pitbulls stack up multiple runs in successive innings against you. Brandon Seymour will lead it off for the Ravens as we go to the top of the Minneapolis order. Chris Dow still on the bump, maybe going for a complete game. Brandon Seymour takes him to right, but not deep enough, as it's a pop fly to Rambo. Takahashi next in the order. Chris Dow into his middle innings here. Could be running out of gas soon, but we'll see. 0-1 pitch. And a base hit straight up the middle for Takahashi. That is the 9th hit that Dow's given up today. But his other stats looking pretty good. Only 3 earned runs allowed, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Here's Sue. Sue takes him deep to right, and this one will not be coming back. 2-run shot will eat into that lead a little bit as the Ravens improve their score to 5. They are now just behind by 5. And that's going to spell the end for Chris Dow. Frank Groves will be the pitcher. Right-hander coming in against Bill Mahoney. Groves has already had a relief appearance in the previous day's game. And so he's got a 4.91 ERA with 4 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1 walk allowed, 2 earned runs over 3 2/3 of an inning. Bill Mahoney 0 for 2 today, batting 167 on the season. Was 1 for 4 yesterday.
Strike 3.
And he stares at a strike 3 pitch. 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate. And Mahoney is retired. Jose Canas, the next batter. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. He's 0 for 2 as well. He draws a walk, however, on the 3-2 pitch. Judging it low, and it was. Evangelos Sorigo, the next batter. And a high fly ball to the left. This should be playable to end it. And it is. Minneapolis strands 1, but they get 2 more runs on there. And we'll listen to the 7th inning stretch. Root for the Pitbulls. 2, 3 strikes. All right. And we're back to the action here, bottom of the 7th. Chicago with their 10-5 lead over Minneapolis. This is day 2's games, so April 5th on the schedule. After this, we'll quick sim the last game of the series and then put our league file up. Ricky Gonzalez to lead it off for Chicago. He'll be followed by Kondo and Kelly. Dave McDevitt comes in to pitch his first relief appearance of the 2022 baseball season. And let's see how things shape up for McDevitt. 2-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Ground ball to left. And not such an auspicious start for Dave McDevitt, as he gives up a leadoff single to Ricky Gonzalez, who, mind you, has a significant amount of speed. Teoso Kondo already 2 for 3 today with a home run. Full count pitch. Sends this one packing to right field. It's off the wall. This one should have the runner scoring from first. And he does indeed go first to home, as, yes, Kondo is safe at third on a triple. It's an RBI triple as the Pitbulls pull to 11-5. And that's the thing with Chicago. Once that offense turns the taps on, it's really hard to turn them off. You can bring in all the new pitchers you want, but and now we're going to see the meat of that order again as we go to Justin Kelly. No shrinking violet himself. Already a home run this season, and it was today. And then we're back to the 5 batters straight of sluggers. High and deep to right. On the track, it's caught. The runner's tagging up from third. Sirigo makes the throw to the cutoff, but there's no chance at home as the runner scores. One away, and it's 12-5 for Chicago, as once again they hold a 7-run lead over the Ravens. Jonathan Guillo next up. 2-1 count. Sends this one over to left. It's playable and caught for out number 2. And here's John Rambo. 2 for 3 today. He went 2 for 4 game 1 with 2 RBIs. Career 129 home runs, which, sounds like it could be, okay, that's about what you'd get. But that's only in 2 seasons, and this is home run number 130 as he cranks that one over the center field wall. An incredible 459 feet as Rambo gets his first tater of the season. 13-5 is the score now. And it's all coming apart for the Ravens. Dennis Guppy, the next batter. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to left, but Takahashi has it. That'll end the 7th inning as Minneapolis squeaks out of this one, having given up 3 more runs. They will try to get something going, but it is now looking very much like a done deal. Frank Groves, the pitcher for Chicago, only pitched to 2 batters, or 2 outs rather, last inning. Mitch Murchison will come in to pinch hit. Ground ball makes it into right, just outside of the reach of the second baseman, Gonzalez. So base hit to right field for Murchison. Viriato Quintal will step in against Dan Mott, who's coming into relief. Quintal, ground ball to second. They get the runner at second as he flips it to the shortstop. Kondo covering second base, but Quintal can't be beat. Very fleet of foot. Alex Saldana, the backup catcher, is now in the game. Came in for, was it Peralta, I think it was, who was injured on a slide at third. Line drive into the right field corner. This will be good for a run. An RBI double. No, the runner holds up at third. So no RBI double, but a double nonetheless. Saldana, some solid contact there. Quintal did have some speed, but Rambo with that gun of an arm already gunned someone down at third earlier. I think it was actually Peralta, if I'm not mistaken. All right, where are we? Brandon Seymour back to the top of the Ravens order. 3-0 count, inside ball 4. Bases loaded now as Minneapolis has a chance here with the big swinging Takahashi, 2 for 3 today, and he's got some power. If he takes DeMont deep here for a grand salami, that does improve Minneapolis' situation somewhat, but they need they're actually 2 grand slams behind a tie. So ground ball, hard ground ball to second. They'll double up easily. The runner from first to second had no chance at all, as it was hit hard right to Sue, who underhanded it to Quintal, made the throw to Canas. So some great, Gonzalez to Kondo, and then to the first baseman, Mano. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Ravens take the field. Strang with a long fly ball to center. It's on the track. Seymour makes the grab. That one it looked like it could have gone. It didn't, but could have. It is now 10:30, though. I'm just going to take a quick glance to see how those 2 West Coast games are faring, as they would have just started. And it is 4-5 for Arizona over Nevada in the Speeder Dome. Nevada with the home opener win, season opener win, 5-0 for Seattle over California. They're in the bottom of the 4th. We have a final. Washington over Miami, 6-4. St. Pete's with a 9-2 win over Calgary. That rounds out the Metro League games. Over in the Lake League, Ohio with their first win of the season to pull even 1-1. They've defeated Milwaukee 3-2. Boston 6-3 over New York, and Toronto with back-to-back wins, 6-5 over Montreal. So Ohio pulling even, that's the takeaway there. Mano at the plate, full count pitch, 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. And this one is a no-doubter. Goodbye. 14-5 for Chicago as he trots around the bases. A 416-foot solo shot just over the left center field fence. And now I think the Ravens are just playing to get out of the game and regroup for Game 3. Justin Palmer, the catcher, will step in.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss on the strike 3 fastball. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Ricky Gonzalez cranks this one to center. It is deep. It could be. It is gone. Ricky Gonzalez with the second home run of this inning. And it is 15-5 for Chicago. And the hits just won't stop. And that'll do it for the pitcher. A.J. Lucas will come in now. Teozo Kondo with 2 outs on the board. Full count. Lucas delivers. Line drive to center. Charging in is Seymour, and he makes the grab to end the inning. Finally, but 2 solo shots for the Pitbulls, and it is 15-5 for Chicago. Top of the 9th. Minneapolis will get another chance. They've got 10 runs to make up. You know, I'm not going to say it's never happened in baseball, but boy, 10 runs in an inning, that's a real tough ask. This game has just slipped away from the Ravens. Lansing Sioux steps up to the plate. He did have a 2-run single in his last at-bat. Draws a walk here. Bill Mahoney. It's a good start. Bill Mahoney is the next batter. Dan Mott on the mound for Chicago. Delivers to Mahoney. Mahoney, line drive to right, but it's playable. Drifting towards the stands there. Rambo makes the grab. Sioux has to trot back to first. Jose Canas flies to right. It drops in front of Rambo, and that is a base hit. So with 1 away, 2 runners are on now for Minneapolis. Evandro Sirigo did have a home run today, and he will fly out to the third baseman. Infield fly was called, so he was out automatically. Sue and Canas wisely stand pat. 2 outs on the board. Mitch Murchison came into pinch hit earlier. He'll get his second at bat. He was 1 for 1 after pinch hitting. Cranks this one to right center, but Rambo is over there to make the grab, and that ends the game as Chicago defeats the Minneapolis Ravens 15-5. They improved to they tied the series. I guess it was Minneapolis won the first game, so they pull even 1-1. The Ravens with 5 runs, 13 hits, and an error. What was that error anyway? That error was on Barr, the catcher. Oh, that's right. I guess they tagged him with an error on it was a throwing error, wasn't it? To first. Anyway, Pitbulls, 15 runs, 18 hits, no errors, as you can see on the screen. John Barr came out with an injury. It looks like a strained abdominal muscle. Why is they calling him Peralta? That was the last game. John Barr, day-to-day, should be back soon. The winning pitcher tonight was Chris Dow, his first win of the season. He did let up more earned runs than he wanted to. His ERA shot up to 7.11. He started out great, but gave up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 3 long balls. Gutierrez also allowing 3 home runs, but a much worse line score for him. 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, just 3 strikeouts, and he was later replaced by Cortesini, who gave up 4 earned runs of his own. McDevitt with another 5, 3 home runs as well. So the player of the game, Makanakua Mano. Take a look at his line score. And Mano, 4 for 5 with 4 RBI. He was the one that had the 4-bagger, isn't it? Mano had he had a solo shot in the 8th. Who had the 4-bagger? Oh, that's right. That was on the other team. Or was it? I swear to God, did I not see a grand slam today? I must be dreaming. All right, I guess I didn't. Anyway, Mano with player of the game. Good game all around. And we'll move to the last game of the series. I think it's should be a 3-game series. I'll just run over the scores again real quick in case you missed them during the game. 6-5 for Toronto over Montreal. Boston 6-3 over New York. Ohio with a 3-2 win over Milwaukee. Congrats, Dylan. Chicago, of course, you just watched the game, 15-5 over Minneapolis. Brandon's St. Pete Admirals 9-2 over the AI Calgary Inferno. Washington Freedom defeating the Miami Storm 6-4. 10-7 for the Salts over the Titles. And 12-11 is the final in Nevada as they improved to 2-0 in the season over Arizona, but it was a close one, and it did go to extra innings there. Looks like went to the 10th inning. So there we go. And one more game to sim, and we'll put this one to bed. And we will start a real-time sim. And we'll finish the sim. After listening to me talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you probably don't want to hear me talk while this sim's in the background. But anyway, so I'll go over today's scores, the 3rd day of the season scores. Looks like Montreal pulls one out at the end there with a walk-off win against Toronto. 9-8. 8-5 was the score. New York over Boston, their first loss. Wooldridge played for Boston. It gets the win for New York. Ohio with a 6-5 win over Milwaukee. They improved to 2-1. Congrats, Dylan. Chicago improving to 2-1 over Minneapolis with their 8-4 win. Miami Storm come back and really rack it up against Washington 11-4. St. Pete's drops their first loss of the season to Calgary 11-7. And it looks like Arizona loses to Nevada 10-9 as the Speeders edge the Cowboys and improve to 3-0. 5-4 win for the Salts over California. So some great games there, some close games. Craig Gnarly 5 for 5. Wow, for the Oxen with a double and 2 RBIs. Brian Chambliss, my first baseman there, 3 for 4 today with a double, a home run, 4 RBIs. 2 runs of his own scored. Some great games. All right. And we'll advance this one to the next day. So that's it. The first 3-game sim is done. We're going to have 2022 season all summer. That's the pace we like to go at during the summers, is we split the sims up. But we're doing 4 sims a week now. So we'll get 2 weeks done per calendar week. And it should be a lot of fun. I do have one thing to do before the Cal League gets underway. And you can watch me do it here. And that is the 4 teams that are unaffiliated. We're dumping their rosters. Baltimore was one of them. We're dumping all the players into free agency. Boom. And actually, I want to take a look at their reserve roster as well and dump all those guys. Boom. Next team was, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the Bruins around. They've won 4 championships in the Cal League, so despite the fact that they're unaffiliated, and that may change later, who knows, I wanted to keep them around. Bay Verte Vikings are another unaffiliated team. I can't remember who they're affiliated to before. We'll dump their players into free agency. Boom. And there's 6 reserve players. Fort Worth, that's the other unaffiliated team. They've got a championship as well. I think it's a recent one too. Ronnie Vanderwall. They got some good players. Keelan Dickey played for Dallas. That's right. The Outlaws were Fort Worth was the Dallas Lawman minor league team. And Dallas was contracted. And the last one is the Windsor Wild. And so again, if we had originally planned to have the players available for purchase, I learned that only the commissioner can actually do that transaction. Me, I can do it for for your team, but anyway, to save all the arguing about who's getting first crack at what players, these 4 teams kind of meant to do this anyway after the last season, after the contraction draft, but these 4 teams have had their players dumped into the free agents pool now. If you want to sign any of them, go for it, fill your boots, make bids on them, minor league contracts, major league contracts, whatever it is you want to do. That way we can negate the arguments over, because not everyone saw the message, and the points well taken. Not everyone saw the message about the fact that they could be purchased for $750,000. Anyway, so here's what the standings look like after the first sim of the 2022 season. We have, it's obviously very early on, and this is going to change rapidly, but at least one team is so far undefeated. That's the Speeders over in the ML West. They have a 3-0 record. Looks like Miami and St. Pete's tied for first, 2-1 is their record. Calgary and Washington making up the 3rd and 4th slots in that division. Arizona 0-3 after losing their first 3 games to Nevada. Over in the Lake League East, Toronto and Boston on top of that division, 2-1 records. Chicago and Ohio on top of the West, and Minneapolis and Milwaukee at the bottom of the West division. So there you go. It's a long baseball season to go still. Thank God we can watch baseball somewhere. I've actually been watching MLB The Show 20 on Twitch. It's some pretty interesting. I love the graphics. I would actually, despite the fact that I'm a bit of a stat purist, I like the stats. I wouldn't mind seeing OOTP have some type of sim like that, some kind of graphic sim where you could watch a game almost like game mode, like a TV broadcast mode. Except I don't like the announcers there. I think I do a better job than the MLB The Show announcers, but that's just my own inflated ego. Anyway, thanks for watching tonight's sim. I'm going to start the process to get the league file up. Hope everyone enjoyed our first 3 games. And as a reminder, if you didn't get the accounts GM DAT file, I think it's just Troy's the only one, but I did send it to him directly, then you won't be able to get the league file. But if you've all exported, and I got 8 out of 9 exports today on the export tracker, then you should be good. You should be able to get this league file, no problem. Let me know if there's any problems. Watch this very exciting stage as I create the archive and set it up. I wasn't paying attention to the Slack channels. Was there any banter going on there? I didn't. Any chit chat? I don't see anything. No. Everyone's quiet tonight. Dylan did some chatting on the Twitch channel. That's about it. A few more injuries were posted. I see the end of March injuries were posted on Slack. All right. And you know what? This light is exceedingly bright in my eyes now. Hopefully you can see me really well. But I'm going to turn it down a little bit. All right. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, everyone. That's Bull Baseball. Special shout out to Scott Davis, our Patreon patron. If you're interested in supporting the league financially, which always helps keep the lights on, in particular, the export, I'll just have you know, the export tracker alone is $20 a year US. So it's a great product. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not complaining. Stats Plus is a great product, but Dave's services and his product doesn't come cheap. We pay $70 a year for Stats Plus and all that it gives us. And it was $50 a year, but we added the export tracker, so that means he has to host the league file and the team files. We don't do the reports there. Reports are still done on the separately, the HTML reports. I'll probably do those maybe every month during the season. So end of April, end of May, end of June, every end of each month, I'll try and update those HTMLs. Some people like to refer to them. I did a big update during the interregnum, the inter period after the spring training. So there's the histories are all updated. There's a massive update. I think all the graphics were updated. I think I uploaded all the graphics. If not, I'll do it soon. But yeah, that's it for this first season. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if you can subscribe to the Bull League Twitch channel yet. We don't have enough followers. But definitely follow. We need 50 followers to move up to the next level in Twitch land and become a for real Twitcher Twitch stream. I enjoy doing this too. And you know what? It's coronavirus. What the heck else am I going to do? Get the league file uploaded here. Everyone okay with the 10:30 start times for these? And if you have any other suggested start times, let me know. I feel like we did pretty good tonight. 5 viewers was our peak. I'm not sure if everyone was a GM, but and see Scott chatting today. Scott usually has a couple comments. Your team played tonight, Davis. Oh, and I'll do the Stats Plus update tonight as well. So if you do use the web utility, you'll be able to check it out later tonight for the latest standings, all that stuff. April baseball. So, despite my team's early success, I suspect by the end of April I'll know whether I'm making the playoffs or not. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a no. Nope. All right. Well, while that's loading, I'm just going to throw the intermission screen up and get a glass of water. All right, and I'm back in. Down to 3 viewers. Well, I wanted to mention this actually before the viewers all disappeared. But if you guys are kind enough to subscribe to the Twitch channel, I'm not sure subscriptions are available yet to my level of channel here, but I have these wonderful Vladdy Guerrero Jr. special tops baseball cards. Just put that a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it. It's a Tops Now Vladdy Guerrero Jr. You can tell I'm a bit of a Jays fan. But Guerrero is a very popular player. I've watched some of the other OOTP streams, and almost every streamer's got him on their team. But it's a special Tops Now card that came out when he made his debut, and with his highlight 2 home run night. So it wasn't his debut. He didn't homer till later on in the season. May 14th, though, he did have a 2 home run night. It was a breakout breakout game last season. So I've got a couple of those cards. If you subscribe to the channel, or actually I'll tell you what, if you subscribe or you sign up as a Patreon patron at any donation level, I will send one of those cards out to you, lickety split. Coronavirus or no coronavirus, the post office is still working, so you can have a Vladdy Guerrero Jr. collectible Tops Now card if you subscribe, or subscribe on as a patron on patreon.com/bullleague. Don't forget, some of the GMs do this. I think only Brandon has Brandon's the only other GM that has an active account right now, and I use the word active, generously. But he's got a Twitter account, aces_ank_BBL or something like that. But if you come up with a Twitter for your team, if you're one of the Bull League GMs, you can certainly follow at Bull League as our main Twitter account. That's the one you see posted in the Slack channels. Under breaking news, you'll see Twitter posts there. That one, it actually pulls from the Bull League Twitter feed. And so the team I run, I run a separate Twitter for the Toronto Nomads. So at Bull League, at Toronto Nomads. I think it's at Toronto Nomads. Don't quote me on that. And even have one for one of the players, Joseph Walker, has his own Twitter feed. Anyway, so if you're into that kind of thing, you want to add to the depth and immerse yourself in bull baseball, alternate reality. By all means, create a Twitter and follow at Bull League and some of the other guys that I follow. I follow some other OOTP. The league follows some other OOTP gamers and stuff, whatnot. But we're a very small gaming community. This online league stuff on OOTP, but we like it. We like the immersing ourselves in the alternate reality that is OOTP baseball. All right, so it looks like the file uploaded, and our emails are sent out. Just gonna have a quick glance, see what news articles popped up. Yeah, Gnarly slapped 5 hits. Good for Craig Gnarly. That's a pretty stellar start to the year there, Dylan. I don't know if you're still watching. I can only see that there's 3 viewers. I can't see who the viewers are. No homers, but 769 average. That's pretty good. Looks like there was a fight already. It's like Justin Reich of Seattle and Phil Shanks of California had a little initiated a bench clearing brawl. And Reich is going to get a 4-game suspension, and Shanks 8 games. All right. Well, no human GM teams were hurt by that action. Johnny Benink of Miami and Chris Charette also given suspensions for another brawl in the Miami-Washington game on April 6th. So sorry, Dustin. Looks like you've lost a player for a few days. Admirals end Mendola's streak. So I guess Mendola had a streak carrying over from last season. Fernando Mendola of Calgary. Calgary had a really good season last year. They made the playoffs despite not having a human GM. Anyway, 20-game hitting streak came to an end as they lost, and they lost 5-0 to St. Pete's. And that's that. Opening day, there was a couple trades. Ashley Lum was sent by me to Chicago. In return, I got Oscar Cardenas. Looks like Cardenas has not had a stellar game. First game of the year. Gave up 3 earned runs. Good job, buddy. But as you can see, my scout rates him fairly highly. So he's rated 3.5 stars out of 4. That's why I was anxious to make that deal. Ashley Lum, he's projecting 4.5 stars, but he's 19. That could be forever. And I need pitching now. I need to solidify pitching now. I've got a pretty good bullpen. With Knuckles pitching, I got a good starter, but the other starters are. My other trade was it was posted before it happened. It was with an AI team, and I sent Zachary Demarest, an outfielder that I had no room for anymore, and he's had some good games, but as you can see, 429 last year, but that was only after 2 games and 7 at bats. 7 home runs in the AAA Cal League, which is pretty good. But I've got a surplus embarrassment of riches when it comes to outfielders, and I couldn't fit them all on the roster. So something I had to give. Justin Gilchrist and Mike Banks came the other way, and both I believe are on the Major League roster. I made room for both of them, both pitchers, both middle relievers, I believe. So, actually, Mike Banks, did he end up? Yeah, he ended up in the Major League roster. Anyway, and that trade was posted the day before it happened, and it was unopposed by any GM, so I executed it. That's usually how the commissioner trades with the AI teams. I post them all, give you guys a chance to give me a yay or a nay. If you guys missed it, or you've probably read through it by now, the 100 prospects list was published. There was a blog post about it, so you can have a look there. Mei Shan Su of California up there. The top prospect on a human-owned team is Alex Ramos of Miami. And Everyotto Quintal, who played tonight, is number 4 on the list. Dan Kimbrough, also of Minneapolis. Is he on the AAA team, though? He's up there. Tex Rudman, AAA, Arizona, number 6 on the list. Jeremy Wright, who's playing for AAA Chicago. Did play in the Major League roster last year. Left-handed pitcher. He's up there. So, yeah, some decent players that we're going to see bubble up to the top there. Eventually, stat leaders. It's only 3 games into the season, but there's Craig Gnarly with his 769. Now, I got a couple players up there. I don't imagine that's going to last, but I think Chambliss could be up there on RBIs and home runs. He's actually a pretty solid home run hitter. The problem is with the home runs is, and yeah, I guess Love's got 3. By the mid part of the season, this will all be Chicago. The top 4 or 5 slots will be Chicago guys, as Scott's Bash brothers there times 2. He's got an incredible number of home run hitters. All right. I'm trying to think of anything else we should cover. Go to the homepage. I don't think there's much else. So I was gonna probably talk about some milestones. If you haven't noticed or you haven't had a look yet, there's some interesting milestones that could be reached. Namely, well, Xavier DeSoto has been playing a long time. Keep in mind, if you're just new to the league or new in the last 3-4 seasons, we played an 80-game season for years. And so a lot of the milestone, 5,000 hits, 4,000 hits, that's a milestone for real. 2,000 hits is good, obviously, in real baseball, but I don't know if they send you the Hall of Fame for 2,000 hits. But anyway, Xavier DeSoto, with his 38 years old and lengthy career, has finally reached close to the 2,250 hit mark. Miguel Ortega is 39. He's close to 2,000 hits, Montreal. I don't know whether he'll actually get there. He's got 109 hits to go. If he has a good season, he could probably get there. Danny Sanchez is within 56 hits of 1,750. Justin Good never got picked up by a team. He's a former New York guy. I think he played for Ohio too. Played 2 seasons in Ohio for Dillon. 3 seasons for New York. I think at least one of those seasons he was managed by. We had somebody managing New York for a while. I think he came back to manage Washington. Alex Sanderson. Anyway, a long career with Kingston before that. Flamethrower good. He's getting close, but he's still in the free agent market, so he's 40. So I don't know if anyone's going to give him a chance to hit 44 more hits, but he could hit a milestone. More interesting, I think, was the home run milestone. Let's have, where we are. Home runs. Garth Goyle, 7 away from hitting 350 home runs. And I want to say that's going to put him in the top 5. That has to put him in the top 5 career records. Take a quick look here. Home runs. Carl Sims, the indomitable Carl Sims, the leader still after all this time. 441 home runs. And Garth Goyle is number 5. So yeah, he's got his hamstring injury, as you can see there, but he could hit his 350th home run this season. He's the only active player on the list. Jesse Nelson retired. Narushi Ohata retired and in the Hall of Fame. And Takeo Tomo retired after a very short minor league season last year. His last full season in the Bull League was, well, if you can call it a full season. 2020, he played for Chicago, 30 games. So, destined for the Hall of Fame as well. Interesting guy, this Takeo Tomo. As you can see there, he's MVP in 2009. Championship Series MVP 9 years later. 3 Bull Cup championship rings. And a whole whack of all-star appearances. 13 years of Major League service. That's 13 years as calculated as at the old, at 160 games, whatever it is currently. As you can see, though, many seasons before, when we played 80 game seasons, right up until 2017, we switched to 100 games. And he was on Brandon's Anchorage Aces back then. Even as a 37-year-old, he hit 37 home runs, batted .301, had a 3.2 WAR, put decent numbers up. The next season for Brandon, he was the league leader, 38-year-old league leader in home runs, 51 home runs, and batted .311. Career batting average of .289 with 390 taters, and so a very good chance of seeing a quick entry, first ballot entry to the Hall of Fame, I suspect anyway, with his monitor number there. His standards is in the range, and he's slightly above on the jaws. So no doubt he's going to make it, just to whether he makes it in the first ballot. I think he'll make it in the first ballot. He's, I mean, look at the veritable trophy cabinet to put some of the Hall of Famers to shame. It just goes on and on and on. So Takeo Tomo. Anyway, we got off track talking about standings and stuff. And the news reports. Oh, I'll take a quick glance while it's on the top of my head. NCAA. Clemson Tigers still in charge of the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, 35-14 record. Go Clemson Tigers. Actually, probably my favorite team in that division. I've always been a Notre Dame fan, so Notre Dame. I don't think they've ever done well in the Bull League version. But anyway, Washington Huskies, John Olerud's alma mater. John Olerud, I had a big, long discussion with another Twitch streamer, OTP Twitch streamer, about John Olerud. Apparently he's vicariously friends with a family member. Anyway, got to stay in his guest house. Very interesting story. It was a great chat last night. Anyway, Huskies was John Olerud's team, Olerud being my favorite J. 30-19, tied with is that USC and the Trojans, and LSU. I think they won the championship in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. They're on top of the Southeast Conference, 31-17. And it was a championship in 2021. So yeah, they won the big prize, LSU, and they've got some decent players as well. I really like this Chris Reed. I shouldn't be telling you this because he's on my scout. I saved him to my list. But anyway, yeah, of UK, and I like UK anyway. I like the Kentucky Wildcats. I like the logo. British citizen, so I like the hat. UK, kind of a double entendre. But anyway, LSU's the leader in that conference, and Rutgers. I don't know if in real life they have a good baseball team or not. I mean, they're Division I, obviously. They're better than any college in Canada, I'm guessing. But Rutgers Scarlet Kings, I don't remember ever hearing them as a decent Big Ten conference. In fact, Ohio and Indiana are two teams I know of. Michigan's probably got a decent program. I'm really wondering if any of these other teams are. I mean, they're football teams for sure, but baseball team, I don't know. Anyway, that's Division I. Can-Am College. This is the fictional college league. It's divided up into two divisions, an A and a B, and each division has two conferences. So the Canada Conference is in Division A. The Brian Mulrooney School of Public Service Cutthroats. If that doesn't tell you a little bit about politics, Brian Mulrooney, for those Americans watching, was a former Prime Minister of Canada. And anyway, I actually sort of met him. It was at a talk where he gave a very actually hilarious talk at a fundraiser. But anyway, Brian Mulrooney School of Public Service. I had to cut the of public service out. The name is just too long. Anyway, they're leading the Canada Conference 23-10. Some other interesting teams in there. I like Cape Breton College Scots. I like the logo. It's one of the generic logos I found off of the OOTP forums. Massachusetts Bay Law College, the Maulers. I think they had another name before. They're leading their New England Conference. Battery Park University. What the hell is their team name? Yellow Jackets. Tonawanda Tech Titans. Just had to do an alliteration. Tonawanda Tech Titans. And being from Toronto, you're always hearing about Tonawanda, North Tonawanda, how there's a fire there all the time. So anyway, it's sort of an inside joke for people that live in southern Ontario. Over in the Academy Conference, this is all professional or military colleges. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Academy Protectors, I think is what they're called. Yep. They are in charge of that conference. 28-6 is their record. Very good record. The Royal Military Academy Sandhurst Blues, the only UK team in this league. Reds and Blues. Sorry, Blues and Reds. They're in second. RMC, they have a team as well called the Paladins. In real life, they've got a Paladins hockey team. I don't think they have a baseball team. But anyway, Royal Military College of Canada, Kingston, Ontario. Lovely city if you've never been. The Canada Border Services Agency College, Portcullis. Completely non-existent. They don't have any sports teams, as I'm sure the USCBP don't as well. And even if CBSA College did, having worked for that agency for 22 years, they can tell you they would never put them into a college type circuit. But anyway, Navy midshipmen, Army Black Knights, they're at the bottom. Go Army. Southern Conference, Kentucky School of Distilling Moonshiners. A lot of people get a chuckle out of that one. That's one of my favorite Can-Am College team names, actually. And they're in charge of their division, 22-12. Good for them. And the other college league going on, Pacific Rim ended their season. Their playoffs were done. Their championship was won by the Singapore Baseball Academy Peacocks. They swept Daegu College Renegades 3-0 and win the PRCL World Series. Go Peacocks. And high school should be wrapped up by now too. So here's North American High School playoffs coverage. They have, where are we? Where's the tree? So it looks like Great Lakes High School Warlords are leading the New England Seminary Saints 1-0 in a best-of-3. Guadalupe High School Slashers out of Guadalupe, Mexico. They're leading the Port Royal College Colonials of Port Royal, Jamaica. Well, Kingston, Jamaica. Final standings there. And this is a promotion demotion or promotion relegation league. So I gotta see. I may have forgotten to do the promotions and relegations this year. I can't actually remember if I did or didn't. I usually do it right after the season, but I may have forgotten after last season. But anyway, so how it generally works is the top 2 teams in the Division 2, so Indy Division, Independent Schools Division. It'll be the Dodgers Baseball Academy and the Miami Sports Academy. They'll get promoted to Division 1. Central Chicago Prep and Dallas Sports Academy will get demoted. In the International Schools Division, same idea. Cancun High School Cervezas. There you go. Custom logo, courtesy of moi. And San Luis Potosi High School Osos, which is Spanish for bear. They will get the promotion up to Division 1. Meanwhile, Mexico City Wingnuts and Panama City Financial College Millionaires will get the demote. So it's a little bit of fun there in the college and high school leagues. All right. We'll have another sim for you. Saturday, 10:30, same bat time, same bat channel. Saturday and Sunday, we do back-to-back sims now, thanks to coronavirus, and well, just got more time in our hands for a few other reasons as well. Don't need to go into detail about, but anyway. So there you go. Thanks again for watching. It is 1 o'clock, and I'm going to wrap this one up. Do 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 do. Till next time, that's Bull Baseball.